Ryan Young and Pete Nansen here after Coach. Have an opening statement to start and then open it up for questions. If you'd like to ask questions, just raise your hand when the time has come. Coach?
Yeah, no, was really pleased with the win tonight. It was a quick turnaround, playing Tuesday night. We had to expend a lot of energy in that New Orleans game. To come back from 9 down in the second half, and it was a physical game and really on one-day prep play against kind of a scrappy, aggressive, pressing, type of team. And I thought we got off to great starts in both halves. That was the key. We really talked about that. 11-2, I think, to start tonight. And then, start of the second half, they hit the 3 at the buzzer there to cut it to 40-20 at halftime. And I thought the start of the second half, we hit some threes, got out, got some buckets and kind of put the game away there in the first 4 minutes of the second half, which was good. Certainly uncharacteristically, we were a little bit sloppy with the ball tonight. The 18 turnovers, is something that we got to clean up. Give Fairleigh Dickinson some of the credit for that. I thought they had active hands. I thought they were aggressive. I thought they trapped some of our stuff and had us off balance a little bit. But overall, I thought we exploited our size tonight, with Pete and Ryan Young going for 39 points and 14 rebounds. You always take that production, at the 5 position. And, we took care of these games that we needed to win, coming out of the season. Nothing's a given, guys. Like, look across the country. There's games that you look at and say, man, how did that team not win or not, and you got to go out there and you got to play well and you got to win these games. And this was an important homestand for us to get started. We have an unbelievable opportunity going to New Jersey here to play Monday and Tuesday against really top-line competition. It's going to be a big-time level game against Providence Monday night, and I know our guys will be looking forward to it.
Hey, Coach. I know last time I was here I asked you about your pick-and-roll defense kind of hard hedging out, and then tonight it's still pretty up and aggressive, but more having guys go over. Just in general, your defense seems kind of aggressive, a lot of stunting, a lot of hands up all the time, very frenetic. But how far do you think you can keep that going as you start to play more of these power conference teams, Big Ten teams, where maybe your athleticism and size isn't as overwhelming as it's been so far?
Yeah, I think the main thing is it's a game-by-game strategy. You got to try to take each game. Like I told you, we work on a lot of different things, and that's what game preparation is for. What is another team good at, and where can we cause them some problems? And so at times we've been very aggressive with some of our coverages, and at times we've been in more of a little bit of a, to be honest, tonight we were in a little more drop coverages on a lot of their stuff. We weren't hedging as much tonight, because of how they ran their offense. They were lifting their big guys. So it was a different coverage, and a lot of it is game by game. What is a team good at? What is their strength? And how do you try to take that strength away? So, we've always tried to do that defensively, and we will continue to do that. That's what are teams' tendencies. And, I think you got to have, like I've told you, really good pitchers. The Cy Young pitchers don't just only have a fastball. They have curves, they have sliders, they have changeups. And as you go throughout the year, especially you guys know following the Big Ten, there's terrific coaching in this league. People make adjustments. And so we have to be able to do that as well. So, there's no question that, that game by game, there will be different things that you will see out of our defense.
Hey, Coach. Casey Simmons posted 9 points tonight, 6 of which came on three-pointers. What type of growth have you seen from Casey so far in these 4 games, and what role do you envision for him going forward as Chase returns?
Yeah, I just think for Casey and Julian both, these guys have gotten unbelievable game, minutes here these first four games with Chase's injury. So, to me, that can only help us. Those guys playing about 20 minutes a game here, these first couple, 4 games. And there's going to be really good things you see, and then there's going to be freshman moments. There's going to be things where you're like, man, you can see why a guy's a freshman. But I think in Casey's, I thought Casey was really good tonight. His athleticism is second to none. He's long, he's quick, he gets deflections. He's got really good instincts on that end of the floor, and he can really get up and down the floor in transition. He probably should have had a couple more in transition where he got ahead of the break, and we just didn't hit him really with great passes. And he's really worked on his shot. That's something, if he can consistently make that 3, and he's going to get stronger. He's a freshman. So, look back to what Pete looked like when he was a freshman, and look what he looks like now. Same thing as Robbie Barron. So you put 15, pounds of muscle on Casey with that athleticism and that desire and that will, we think he's got enormous potential in this program. Really excited to watch his growth.
he had another big game tonight, and he's the captain of the team. So I'm just curious if you could share like an example of a time he showed leadership, whether it's in practice or in a game that you saw him really like take command of the team.
Yeah, I've just been really proud of his voice. You know, I hear his voice the whole game. You know, every huddle, you know, every stop action, every timeout. You know, he's playing like an older guy. You know, he's commanding out there. He's directing. He's got a strong voice. His confidence level, you know, is at an all-time high. And he's been our leader, you know, and certainly when I've always felt that when guys get to the point where they can throw themselves into leadership and competing and trying to win, then your talent just takes over. You know, you start making shots, you know, you start, you know, doing, because he's a very talented player. You know, now he's playing off of his instincts instead of being reactionary. And it's just been fun to watch his growth. You know, we kind of saw it a little bit last year in spurts where you saw, man, that guy, if he puts it together, man, he's got a chance to be scary. And I think you're seeing now, you know, why we're really excited about what he can be this year. And but I would say his voice and just how vocal he's been with our guys from day one in practice.
So I wanted to ask you about Ty Berry, who's
Sure.
off to a good start this season. Just not only just like him shooting well, but how much does his willingness to shoot whenever he has like an open look, how much does that do for your offense? Just that, you know, always ready to fire.
Yeah, we need that. You know, we need his, especially now we have, you know, Chase is out. So, I mean, we need his scoring. You know, we need his shooting. We need his ability to, and the one thing about Ty, he's got a quick release. You know, so he has the ability to get his shot off, you know, which is a great thing to have, especially like you said, once you start playing against bigger guys, longer guys, you know, he has the ability to get his shot off against anybody. And I want him to have, you know, ultimate confidence with his shot. We need that out of him. I think he's a better player this year than he was last. Obviously, his opportunity with his minutes and his role has increased with this team. And in order for us to do the things we want to do, like he needs to be a consistent guy that, you know, can give us, you know, double-figure points, which I think is very possible and something that I think he can bring to the table for us.
Hey, Coach. Going back to Pete, you said he's been putting it together this season. How do you think his versatility will be a benefit to the team as you face Big Ten competition in December?
Yeah, he's just a unique player. You know, I think you guys saw, you know, we kind of move him around. Sometimes we roll him on our pick and roll. Sometimes we pop him. We kind of use different things to move him to different areas. He can play out of the mid post a little bit. I'm really pleased about how he's driving the ball. That's an element. You know, I didn't think he drove it as aggressively as he is now. He's getting to the line a little bit. He's playing through contact. You saw with the couple dunks the other night where he went through guys and still finished the play. So, you know, he's just improved in a lot of areas. But the biggest thing has just been his confidence. And it's been fun for us because I just think there's a lot of unique things you can do with him. He can bring the ball up the floor. You know, we've even done some pick and rolls at times where he's had the ball, you know, and we've inverted where you have a guard screen for him and he can turn the corner. So I just think he's a unique offensive player and he's now becoming a very capable defender as well. And you see by his rebounding, 10 defensive rebounds tonight, which was very impressive.
Coach, can you speak to the importance of the efficiency from Ryan Young and Pete tonight, especially heading into the Legends Classic in the coming days?
Yeah, you know, I just have said all along with those two guys, I just think we have a good kind of 1-2 punch there. And, you know, I think what you'll see too as we play bigger teams, they're going to play together more. You know, we saw that a little bit in the New Orleans game. They were a physical team, and we've been playing a lot of these kind of smaller, kind of scrappier teams that don't really play a lot of big guys, so they haven't played a lot in the first 4 games together. But, you know, I think you'll see, you know, times during the year where they're going to be together as well. But, you know, I just think, you know, Ryan, his production, he just embraces his role really well. He's got a starter's mentality. I believe he is a starter. He might start some games, you know, depending on where things are at and matchups and things like that. But, you know, both those guys as veteran guys, and they're different types of players. You know, all of a sudden you got Pete, and then Ryan comes in, and he's more of a traditional low post type of guy that can draw fouls and score on the block. So they've been a really good 1-2 punch for us, and you know, certainly we're going to need to have that going forward.
Anything else for Coach? Okay.
All right, thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
to stop bringing Pete in here. You're running out of questions. Go ahead.
Pete, Coach was talking about your improvement from year to year and how much you've grown like over the past 4 years. So I'm curious to know, has the game really slowed down for you this year, and like what's different? Like what are you seeing differently this year?
I think a lot of it's just, being a senior. I think it's just 4 years of experience helps a lot. There's just there's only so many plays and so many things that can happen. And I feel like I've seen a lot of it before just from being on the floor and from experience. So I think that naturally, the game is going to slow down a little bit the more this level of play is going to slow down a little bit the more I'm out there. So definitely it slowed down a little bit for me.
Either of you can answer this. So far through these first 4 games, you've had kind of a considerable size advantage over a lot of teams you played. Was that just like looking at the schedule, looking at the teams you were going to play, you knew that these were games you could come in, like really emphasize just getting inside, getting to the rim, and trying to take over there, especially you two?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I think it's definitely something that we look at going into the game. We know that we're going to have a size advantage, but all of our staff emphasizes that we want to get the ball inside anyway. So we talk about posting up, but we also just talk about getting the ball through drives, any other forms of getting the ball and penetrating their paint. We know that they weren't going to have a lot of shot blocking ability, so we wanted to capitalize on that in any form, really.
Ryan, can you talk about the chemistry you formed with Elijah Williams? I feel like there have been a few times where he'll drop off like really good interior passes to you for like easy layups.
Yeah, definitely. Elijah's like a new addition to the team, so it's been fun to play with him. We're roommates as well off the court, so I don't know if that plays a major role in it, but yeah, it seems like we click when we're out there together. We find each other in a lot of quick passes underneath. And it seems like we're, both going after the ball and rebounds and as hard as we can together. So it's fun to play out there with Elijah for sure.
So obviously it's been probably as good a start as you guys could have asked for just so far this season. But is there anything you think that just looking at yourselves, evaluating yourselves as a team that you need to do better just to keep going where you want to go, even through this really successful start?
I think it's. Just lost my train of thought. But no, I think that it's there's a lot of things that we need to improve on. I think that's what these games are for, and being able to get out on the floor is, just we're only 4 games into the season, so we're looking at where we need to improve and the things we need to work on. And I think that there's not many specific things. I think we did a better job tonight of coming out stronger in the first couple of games. We came out slow, and I thought we had a faster start tonight, which was good. But I think just overall, just trying to improve offensively and defensively. I don't think there's anything in specific, but I think that these first games have been great for us as far as 4 unique and different types of teams and making us play in different ways that help us see what we need to work on. So it's been good for us.
As I'm sure you guys are both aware, there have been numerous teams, especially in the Big Ten, that have already lost games early, and those have been pretty massive upsets. So what does it mean to be one of the 80-something teams that are still undefeated around the country? What do those other losses emphasize to you?
I know for me, and I'm sure for everybody else, we're just focused on us. We're focused on the next game, which is Providence in New Jersey, and we're not really looking at what anybody else is saying or what anybody else is doing. We're just focused on ourselves and how we can do whatever we need to do to win, and I think that's going to take us where we deserve to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, I just wanted to talk about your mentality a little bit today. You had a really efficient 20 points and 6 of 8 shooting, and clean sheet at the line 8 for 8. Just talk about your mentality and how you approach the game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess like we mentioned earlier, we knew we were going to have a size advantage down there early. So I think like we had a lot of plays called for to get the ball into the post or get the ball driving down. So I knew that when we wanted to come out aggressive and try to get to the rim very early on. But really I'm just coming in there as a part of that second unit and trying to bring energy and effort. We've talked about that a lot. as a team with, those guys that come into that second unit, we've kind of been coming in almost a wave of 4 different guys in most games between me, Elijah, Julian, and Greer. It seems like we're all coming in together. There's been a ton of emphasis on picking that, keeping sure that momentum and that energy that first group puts in place in the first 4 minutes of the game, we keep that up to that level or bring it higher. So in terms of mentality when going in, I think it's just energy and effort consistently on the court.
Last one right here.
Tonight you held Fairleigh Dickinson to 30% from the field and forced 20 turnovers. What kind of confidence does that give y'all as a team defensively heading into the Legends Classic in a few days?
I thought it was a great defensive performance by us. I think just being connected on the floor, and I think it definitely gives us some confidence, knowing that we're out there and we're playing great team defense, which is definitely what we're going to need heading into New Jersey. So I think it's a nice way to be able to, protect our home court and leave this, this stretch of home games 4-0 and heading into a big time tournament for us.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Speaking of New Jersey and the Legends Classic, so much like we've said.